बहुत rarely ऐसा होता है that two of the most peace-loving nations they are at loggerheads, and that is exactly what has happened between India and Canada. Now, amongst all this, all those students from India who are wanting to study in Canada, say in their January intake or the September intake next year, unka kya hota hai? That is what this video is going to talk about. But before I proceed, without getting into the political aspects of it, very briefly, I'll tell you what has happened between India and Canada so far. Few weeks back, the Canadian Prime Minister accused India of a killing, which obviously was not appreciated by New Delhi. So reaction to आना ही था. Now, amongst all these war of words, दोनों ही sides say the diplomats were expelled. But then came one major response from India where Indians stopped issuing visas to Canadian nationals who are wanting to visit to India. Obviously, the reason cited was operational, but सभी को पता है कि the reason was something else. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि ऐसा बहुत मेजर कुछ एक्शन हो गया जिसकी वजह से इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स और एनीबडी वांटिंग टू स्टडी इन कनाडा इज नाउ फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम्स. देन हाउ डज इट अफेक्ट अस? स्टूडेंट्स को क्या फर्क पड़ता है इससे? कपल ऑफ थिंग्स. वन, ऑल दो स्टूडेंट्स हु आर प्लानिंग टू गो टू कनाडा फॉर द जनवरी इनटेक, उनके लिए एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी किया गया है फ्रॉम द कैनेडियन साइड वेयर दे हैव सेड that you should not put your applications for visa because we are not sure of how long is it going to take for us to process that particular visa. उन्होंने ये नहीं बोला कि हम वीजा नहीं देने वाले, उन्होंने ये कहा कि डिलेज हो सकते हैं, बट इनडायरेक्टली कहीं ना कहीं वो स्टूडेंट्स को डिस्करेज कर रहे हैं फॉर पुटिंग इन द वीजास फॉर जनवरी. ऑल्सो जैसी ही ये सारी चीजें हो गई, सडनली द स्टूडेंट्स and parents, especially all those who have admits to Canadian universities, have started panicking. This is also that time of the year जब हम next year के लिए applications डालते हैं and suddenly we have students and parents coming to us and saying कि नहीं, कनाडा अभी नहीं करना है, इसको होल्ड पर रखते हैं. So किन किन चीजों को यहां पर समझना होगा स्टूडेंट्स को और कैसे उसके अगेंस्ट अपने को एक्शन लेना है. Now, first and foremost, let me tell you this very clearly कि पैनिक करने जैसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है. So let's not panic at all. One, all those students who are planning to attend the January intake, आप लोगों के लिए ये advisable है that you defer your admissions to the September intake if possible. Because जो करंट सिनारियोज है, थोड़ा सा वीजा प्रोसेसिंग में इश्यूज होता अपने को दिख रहा है, बिकॉज इफ द इश्यू हैज नॉट एस्केलेटेड एज ऑफ नाउ, बट एट द सेम टाइम वी डोंट हैव द क्लैरिटी एज वेल. सो जनवरी इनटेक माइट बी अ लिटिल डाइसी फॉर यू. वन. सेकेंड, ऑल दो स्टूडेंट्स हु आर प्लानिंग टू अप्लाई फॉर सेप्टेंबर नेक्स्ट ईयर, ऑब्वियसली understand this, nothing has gone wrong for you so far, but what you now need to understand is that for next year September, because of students like you who are applying abhi, also the students who had applied and got admissions to January, they have now deferred their admissions to September, so the competition for September becomes much higher. So the probability of you getting a seat, the same seat which you could have got otherwise, now the probability goes down for the coming September. So you need to plan accordingly. Let's not forget, Canada nowhere has the number of institutes that say a USA offers, that it can not only accept the fresh students but also the deferred students. So थोड़ा सा Canada के लिए competition मुश्किल होने वाला है. Also in the past also that we've seen कि जब भी ऐसी कुछ भी uncertainty आती है ना, so it takes a little bit of time for things to settle down and get to normal, which I don't see happening very quickly in this scenario. एक और चीज, the moment India-Canada row came into picture, suddenly the students have started asking, okay, Canada now, if I'm not considering, what are my options? And suddenly you see the increase in applications for USA and UK. So all those students who are applying to USA and UK, please understand this. Now, the fight for the seats would be much higher because most students who are looking to apply to Canada are also destinations, namely USA and UK. In recent past, US has issued a staggering 90,000 visas for Indian students. So already you have a huge number of students any which was traveling to US. Add the crowd that was going to Canada. Now that also will move to US. So as I see from over here, for the next fall intake, which is September 2024, we see a lot of competition for seats in the US, UK, and Australia. At least for 1 year or so, there would be little uncertainty over what is happening in Canada. But again, all those who are already there in Canada, or all those students who are studying in Canada, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Both the governments, I'm sure, will take care of their citizens. And let's face it, both India and Canada need each other for more than one reasons. So I don't see this matter escalating too much, or I don't see that both the parties being rigid about something. Obviously, for political reasons, for their own policies, they have taken certain actions, but the governments are matured enough. They are responsible for their citizens, and I'm sure both our governments, Indian government as well as the Canadian government, will definitely take care of their citizens in either of the countries. But students who are planning to apply for the next year, please make sure that you plan properly. One tip that I can give you is, all those who are planning to apply to Canada, say for the next September, what you can do is, say if you're applying to say 10 universities, if you're applying to say 6 or 7 in Canada, it'll be great if you can apply to a couple of universities in US or UK, just in case that things escalate and Canada doesn't work out. You already have a seat secured either in the US or UK or any other country of your choice. ये नहीं हो that you applied to Canada, maybe God forbid something escalates say by the month of March, and now you cannot apply to Canada, you're not getting a seat in Canada, and by then the deadlines for the universities in the other countries is also gone. So please, it makes a lot of sense at this stage to apply at least to a couple of universities in the other countries, which could be maybe your second choice countries after Canada. That might just help you save a year just in case something goes wrong and you're unable to make it to Canada. As and when more information keeps coming in, we'll keep coming to you in our future videos. Thank you.